What's going on, you guys? Welcome to episode 9 of Basketball Conversation right here on MehariNation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDVC. I hope y'all having a good evening here on a Friday night. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, what I mean, man. I'm on mute, though, Act Reacher. Let me check out something real quick. Okay, okay, I got my sound taken care of. Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. Okay, so let's get down to it. Just get down to it. I see you got a lot of likes in there. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love and support. Okay. Okay. So let's get down to it, though. Let's get down to it. Got lots of stuff to talk about in the world of the NBA. And great news, we kicked off college basketball too. Men's college basketball. We're going to dive in a little bit about what to expect for the college basketball season as we prepare once again to the road to Atlanta for the Final Four. All right. So let's get down to it. So we got Act Richard. We got E. Woodson in the house. Appreciate all the love and support, though, guys. Y'all make this channel possible, guys. You know what I mean? Without the love and support, I would not be doing this channel like I always do. And I'm stepping up my content, though, guys. So make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the new people. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to when I go live. So, with no time to waste and with all the pleasantries out the way, let's get down to it. So, you guys, I wanted to first talk about the load management issue that's been going on with Kawhi Leonard this week. Okay, now it's been reported going on that that he's been going through somewhat of a knee injury and he's sitting out a couple of games to try to recuperate from that knee injury. But unfortunately, a lot of people are not believing that he's really hurt. And if you guys check out my previous video that I did, I said that I'm getting really tired of Kawhi Leonard's relentless load management thing because it's really getting out of hand. And I still stand by the same comments, okay? Because this guy is right now in his prime, okay? He's in his prime. The only major injury was the hamstring injury, and he only played 9 games in his final season in San Antonio, okay? And he played almost 60 games, averaged 26.5 points a game in his only season in Toronto, and won a championship out of it. Which really leads me to the big controversy that I'm going to go through right now. This really, to me, this really comes across as almost of a sense of entitlement coming across from Kawhi Leonard. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he's accomplished a lot in his career. No doubt about it. A guy that, came in as a mid-first rounder and then to build himself up into the superstar that he is, it was a great thing. But it almost comes across as a sense of entitlement because he's kind of just trying to shove the whole load management thing down to everybody else's throats. And it's really it's disturbing to me because listen, it's not like you haven't suffered a knee injury or anything like that. And it's not like you suffered a bad injury where you're going to miss multiple games. And the NBA needs to do a better job of basically putting the foot down on a lot of players, resting because they don't feel like playing. And let me tell y'all something. Monday night, I was tired, but I drove all the way out to the Target Center to watch Giannis Antetokounmpo play and posted up a double-double, okay? The thing is, though, bro, Giannis is the type of person that shows up to play every single night. Okay, no matter what the situation, no matter where he's at, no matter if he has a minor injury like that. Listen, he always shows up and always gives up 100% effort every single night. He don't put up no excuses. He don't need any. Okay, and it's really becoming annoying because listen, NBA fans pay good money to watch these players play. The networks pay millions of dollars to put their games on their network because they want to see the superstars. Because the casual fans know that they want to see their favorite players play on TV. And when you decide to sit out of nationally televised games, you're essentially taking advantage of the fans. And the NBA needs to come up with a rule or make more provisions about the whole resting issue, because if you're not physically hurt, if you're able to walk, if you're able to run fluently with no issue at all, then you got to go out there and play. But you got to hit it where it hurts the most. Okay. If I were Commissioner Adam Silver, you know what I would do? I would basically say, listen, if you don't play, you don't get paid. If you don't play, you don't get paid. Okay? Because I know in the NFL, if you don't play, you don't get your bonus. You don't get your annual, and you don't get at least maybe 30% of your salary. Okay? Because NFL contracts are not guaranteed. However, the NBA contracts are guaranteed. Okay? And the NBA years ago signed another TV deal with both ESPN, NBA TV, and TNT worth billions of dollars. Okay? And all the salary caps are going to get the huge increase out of it. So, in a sense, though, Kawhi is really taking advantage of the fans' money, because he's worried about how about his rest period, about not suffering an injury. Bro, you got to put that to work in the summer, okay? Listen, injuries come part of the territory. You can't just be afraid about, being hurt, okay? That always comes with the territory. But there's a difference of, if you're actually physically hurt and you can't physically walk, that's one thing. But you're actually doing this resting because you just don't feel like playing, is just really insulting for fans that pay good money to see these players play. Okay. Michael Jordan never did that throughout his career. Every time he played, he put on a performance that people will never, ever forget. Okay. When I went out to see Giannis, I knew I was going to see something special out of him. And I was very, very blessed to see him, go in there and dominate. All right. Like he normally do. And the numbers he posted up, 28 points and 12 rebounds in that game against Minnesota, was another day at the office. But for a lot of fans that want to see him play, it's an opportunity to see one of the best players in the NBA today do work. And for Kawhi Leonard to take advantage of that is very, very insulting. So the NBA needs to do a better job of basically putting their foot down on these players to let them know that, hey, stop resting if you're not physically hurt. Because if you are able to walk, you're able to run fluently, and if there's nothing wrong with you, get out there and play. Hit him where it hurts. That's just the way I see it. So let's go ahead and check out the chat real quick. All right. E. Woodson is there. It's Just Boxing. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Y'all make sure to subscribe to It's Just Boxing, though, bro. He's one of the new channels to the LDBC, man. And he's putting in a lot of good work in there, guys. So make sure to subscribe to that, brother, though, man. Real talk. Real talk. And E. Woodson's at work just showing this and another young line in the chat. Absolutely, E. Woodson. Absolutely. So now we're going to get into the next subject in hand here. Now, this is about the Houston Rockets, and stay ready. I'm going to debate you about this on Sunday night, because we need to discuss about the Houston Rockets, because the Houston Rockets, man, are really starting to annoy me about how they've been doing their business and how they play on the basketball court. Okay? Because Gary Payton recently came out and said that the Rockets will never, ever win a championship on the style of their play. Okay? Now, Gary Payton knows exactly what he's talking about. Listen, if y'all kids don't know about Gary Payton, go research it on YouTube and watch one of his games. He is one of the greatest defenders in the history of the NBA. Okay? Because listen, he made an excellent point when he talks about that Mike D'Antoni's type of system, which is chucking up threes and basically not playing any defense, will not lead you to a championship. And you know what? He's absolutely correct. I mean, here's the thing. The Rockets shoot more threes more than any other team in the NBA over the last few seasons. Okay? The Bucks led the NBA in three-point attempts, but the Rockets were not right behind them. But then the year prior to that, they led the NBA in three-point attempts than the Golden State Warriors. Okay? But listen, all this isolation ball of James Harden, taking 7 to 8 dribbles to get his shot off. I mean, it's fun in the regular season because not many teams, will play physical defense on you that's gonna try to scheme you out or anything like that. But here's the thing: in the playoffs, you got to be able to adjust what the defense is giving you, and more importantly, adjust your game. And that's what's been the problem with the Rockets. Mike D'Antoni's stubbornness to change his system and actually play some physical defense because only PJ Tucker and Clint Capella are the only few players on the Rockets team that play defense. But the fact is, bro, is that James Harden's ability does not work in the playoffs. You can't. The dude takes so many dribbles to get his shot off and taking one-legged three-point shots that you're not even supposed to take, even in college or even in high school for that matter. And even though he makes those kind of shots in the regular season, when it comes down to the playoffs, doesn't work out that way, brother. You got to change. You got to learn to adapt, okay? Because you can't just play the same way you've been doing the entire regular season because teams are going to figure out how to prevent that and going to try to limit your effectiveness. The same goes with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, the one thing I respect about Russell Westbrook is that he's full steam ahead. He's coming right at you. But when it comes down to the playoffs, he doesn't know how to just readjust that gear and pace himself for the long war to get to a championship. And when it comes down to the postseason, Westbrook only knows one gear, and that's full speed ahead. I'm going right at you. And unfortunately, that mentality has not worked out for him in the postseason. Okay, and D'Antoni's inability to play defense and just continuously say, "Hey, check us as many threes as you want. Check up as many threes as you like, without any consequence, without even considering that, hey, we're taking too many threes. Let's move the ball inside. Let's do something else." When you keep doing that in the long term, I mean, teams are going to say, go ahead and chuck as many threes as you want. We're going to bet on you're not going to make all of them threes. Now, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And the Rockets for years have died by the sword of the three-point line. And it's not going to get them to go anywhere unless they find a way to readjust themselves, or if James Harden can take his foot off the gas pedal a bit and become much more efficient and understand that sometimes the most craziest shot is not the greatest shot to take. Okay. And let me put it like this though too on Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is really starting to annoy me because listen, when Chris Paul came out and said that he wanted to be traded, did you guys know that he wanted to be traded to the Milwaukee Bucks? He actually wanted to play with Giannis and basically be his teammate. Can you imagine Chris Paul on that Milwaukee Bucks team right now instead of having Eric Bledsoe as their point guard? Whew, the damage that they could do. But my Daryl Morey was basically said, "I'm not trading you to a contender," so he traded it to the OKC Thunder. But Daryl Morey's emphasis of using analytics heavily and the way that he plays political games when it comes to Carmelo Anthony, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous how Carmelo Anthony is not in the NBA right now, which is we're going to get into the next subject at hand here, okay? Listen, Carmelo Anthony came out and said that, listen, this is absolutely, I deserve another opportunity to play in the NBA. I'm 100% committed to playing in the NBA. And right now, he still has no offers coming in. He said on Yahoo Sports, he said Carmelo Anthony's 2,000% still wants to play in the NBA. And guess what? Excuse me 1 second. And listen, Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. 10-time All-Star, and he's been an all-team NBA at least 6 different times. And potential MVP candidate, okay, gold medalist, national champion. I mean, do you want me to keep going? Okay? Listen, it's really disgusting of how this man is being treated in the NBA right now. He should have an opportunity to play for any team. I know the Brooklyn Nets would love to have him right now. With Kevin Durant going to be out for a little while, he would be a perfect person to play for the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, Portland could be a great fit too. Okay, I know the Warriors would love to have some scores right now. Now that Curry's going to be out for the remainder of the year, Klay Thompson's not coming back for the remainder of the year, and Draymond Green's going to miss a lot of games. And I'll tell you this though, bro, the Golden State Warriors are going to be horrible this year. I mean, he's invested all that money to build that new basketball facility in San Francisco with the anticipation of having all of your stars coming into that new facility after then almost decades in the Oracle Arena. And now a lot of these fans that have paid high dollars to see the Warriors, and now all their star players are hurt. So it's a damn shame what has happened to the Warriors. But let me get back to the subject in hand here when it comes to Melo. This is not right how Melo is being treated in the NBA, and you guys know this in previous live streams. Don't give me the whole issue of Melo don't play defense in the NBA when almost a lot of players in the NBA rarely play any defense at all. That is what it is, guys. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just unfortunate that it's come across as that, but it is what it is, though, man. So Melo deserves another chance, and it's really just a shame how the NBA has really disrespected Carmelo Anthony after everything he's done in the NBA. Just unbelievable, bro. So now that subject is done, now we're gonna get into about a bit of the little bit of a rumor, a little bit of some talk about Anthony Davis and pending free agency. Okay, now Anthony Davis has basically came out a couple of days ago and said that he would be expressing some interest of possibly returning home to Chicago and possibly playing for my Chicago Bulls. Now, as the fan in me, okay, as the fan in me of my Chicago Bulls, I've been a Bulls fan all my life, ever since I was born, okay, since through the Jordan era. Selfishly, I would love for Anthony Davis to come over to the Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean? He would be great to have in the Windy City. But if you ask me in all honesty, that's not really going to happen because listen, Anthony Davis needs to be in a perfect situation where he would have to have another superstar to go with him. Okay, he's not going to be dumb to go to Chicago all by himself. Okay, and leave a lot of money on the table. Okay, so it's very cute, and it would be really, really nice if Anthony Davis comes over to my Chicago Bulls team. That would be a huge steal in free agency and be the biggest shocker of all. But it's just not going to happen. I just think that a lot of other teams could offer him a lot more money and could offer him a lot more resources to get him opportunities to win championships. And that Bulls team right now, as talented as they are, they're still very, very young, and they still need a lot more time to really develop before they can really make some noise. And I'll tell you this, though, off the rip, Kobe White and Zach LaVine, they're making themselves a very young and up-and-coming backcourt, and they're really getting better, though, guys. So be on the lookout for those guys. But back to the subject in hand with Anthony Davis. Listen, it's very, very clear. If the Lakers don't win the championship this year, Davis is walking. I mean, there's all there is to it. That's all you need to know. What's the stance going on in LA right now? Okay, because look, the Lakers have been waiting to get to the playoffs since 2013. They've been starving to get back into the playoffs. They've been starving to win a championship since 2010. Okay, and this is probably one of the few opportunities that they'll ever get. The Warriors are going to be horrible this year, and now you got to contend with the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Nuggets out west. Okay, and if the Lakers do not win a championship this season, it's gonna be over. No chance. So that just is what it is. I hope that Anthony Davis can make the wise decision for himself and his future, but I don't see him going to the Chicago Bulls. But as a fan, I would love to see that. Oh man, if we had Anthony Davis on my Chicago Bulls, we would stomp on everybody. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. You got that right. But okay, so now with that being said, now the other topic that I also want to discuss about there too is the San Antonio Spurs right now are expressing some interest of trading DeMar DeRozan. Okay, now as most of you guys already know, DeMar DeRozan spent a lot of years with the Toronto Raptors, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals where they ultimately lost to the Cavaliers. Okay, but then before the 2018-2019 season, the Raptors traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. Okay, now when the trade did happen, I wasn't really a fan of the trade because I felt that DeMar DeRozan wasn't going to be a good fit, for the San Antonio Spurs. But even though he's done well for himself down in San Antonio, I just felt that his skill set and the Greg Popovich type system wasn't really going to work well for DeMar DeRozan's skill set. So unfortunately, because of the fact that they got bounced out of the first round of the playoffs, now there's been rumors going around that the Spurs are secretly, looking to trade him, you know, trade DeMar DeRozan, even after just the first season they were together. Okay. But according to a report through the Athletic, okay, the Spurs that DeMar DeRozan was looking to try to, get a contract extension with the San Antonio Spurs, but unfortunately, those talks are they haven't gone far, and it looks like as if that they are basically looking to either seek a trade or just test the free agency market. Okay, because if the Spurs offer the max contract section, it would be at least 4 years at around $150 million. Okay, so the Spurs have a lot to question. They got a lot of things that they got to figure out in the future, because they need to basically are slowly transitioning into a building role. And Craig Popovich, I can see him retiring at the end of the season because the team is in rebuilding mode, and I don't think Greg Popovich at this age, at this particular point in his career, is going to be willing to go through another rebuilding process. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to at least, accept some offers. And I wouldn't be surprised if DeMar DeRozan does get traded before the trade deadline. You know what I mean? Because I think that he's still got a lot of good value there. And I know there could be teams that would be willing to package a deal to get DeMar DeRozan. So we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. So on to our next subject here. Well, the Golden State Warriors. Okay. The Golden State Warriors right now are in a huge funk right now. A lot of no names on the lineups right now, but also, injuries to their star players. Obviously, Curry's going to be out for the rest of the season with that broken hand. Klay Thompson tore his ACL in the finals. Okay, and now it comes out that Draymond Green injured a tendon in his shooting hand. Okay, and now the Warriors right now are basically injured riddled to start the year, and they haven't been playing well lately. That's for sure. Let's see the score there too. Right now, they're only bearing on to a 2-point lead. And listen, against the Wolves, and they're 2-6 in the year right now. So there's no chance that they're going to make the NBA playoffs. No chance, especially how deep the Western Conference is. It's really gonna be very difficult for them to make any headway in the playoffs, and they're just gonna have to get ready to pull off a fast one during free agency, and hopefully that you know that they could have an opportunity to sign Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks in free agency. But it's going to be very, very hard to do so because if the Bucks come out of the East and win a championship, then it's really going to be a telling sign of where will Giannis will go. But what the good Warriors are going to have to do is, develop their bench, develop some of their younger players, and give them specific roles that they're going to have to really perform at when they start rebuilding the team again. Okay, and I don't like the fact that they gave Draymond Green $100 million and he never really averaged, 20 points a game throughout his career. And yes, he does the little things out there and he keeps everybody accountable. But the guy is an emotional wreck. Okay, there you know that he will explode at any time. And honestly, ever since that blow up he had with Kevin Durant, this it's gotten worse and worse for Draymond Green because now everybody is looking at him and it's directed the blame to him for breaking up the Warriors team. And some of it justified and some of it not, because I think even if the Warriors even went on to win the title, Kevin Durant was going to leave Golden State no matter what. So honestly, though, man, the Warriors need to continue to reassemble the bench, develop some of their younger core players, and hit a big splash in free agency to try to get Giannis and Antetokounmpo in from free agency. So those are the list of things that the Warriors got to do, to rebuild this team, because this year is not gonna be a successful season. So we'll we'll see how it goes when it comes down to free agency this upcoming summer. Okay. So let's go ahead and check out the chat real quick. TJ Wilkins, salute, brother. How you doing, though, man? He says salute to everybody. It says Boxing says Ag Reacher, thanks for the sub. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to It's Just Boxing, though, bro. One of the new channels of the LDBC. This guy puts a good content. Nitty G, what's going on? He says salute, hashtag LDBC. Yes, ma'am. It's Just Boxing says TJ Wilkins, salute King. TJ Wilkins says It's Just Boxing. What up, bro? Ag Reacher 45 says TJ Wilkins, what up, bro? Yeah, man, it's a Friday night though, bro. So everybody's just going out there and having a good time. I'm just here, discussing basketball and having a good time with you guys. So all the love is good though, man. All the love is good. So the next subject intact here, guys, is the whole issue about Kyrie and the mood swing issue. And why I say it's irrelevant. Because here's the thing. Kyrie is just his own man, and he moves how he wants to move. Okay, but this notion that he has a mood swing problem because he doesn't get he talks to people in a certain way, or gives off a bad impression. Listen, he's just the kind of guy that he'll chill with you when he wants to. Okay, not everybody on a team has to get out, do things outside of basketball. The only thing that matters is that can you work together as a team and find a way to win. And Kyrie Irving throughout his career has been able to do that, and he's got a championship ring to show for it too. So at the end of the day, man, to me, it's not a huge issue to me, unless if he starts fighting with teammates, which is that's not in his personality for him to do that. So truthfully though, bro, it's a really irrelevant issue, and I don't know why people were holding their arms up to, really go in on Irving. You know what I'm saying? It's just completely irrelevant. This guy is one of the best point guards in the NBA. Listen, he moves how he wants to move. So people are not just going to go up to him and just basically say, hey, you can't do this and that, or you can't talk to me that way. Why not? He's his own man. He's not like he's had any fights with anybody. But at the same time, sure, there's a lot of highs and lows throughout the regular season. I mean, it just happens in the NBA, especially when you're a professional player. But at the same time, I mean, come on. You really gonna put that on there as smooth swings? I mean, it just didn't make any sense to me. And I really think that Kyrie Irving is just out there for himself, but more importantly, he just wants to play basketball and just talk to him about what happened during the game. As this is what it is. So I'm not. It's not something to worry about, and I just think that that whole thing was just blown out of proportion without looking at the facts. That's just it to it. So, all that being said, now we can get into college basketball, particularly the men's side of things. Okay, so let's pull out the rankings real quick. There we go. Yeah, man, there's a lot of basketball here today. So obviously, the season already got started, and Michigan State this year is the number one team in the nation. And most of you guys already know that the majority of their starters have came back. Okay. Cassius Winston, had a sensational NCAA tournament. And more importantly, though, guys, he really set the tone for that Michigan State team. And it's just a shame how, they were able to get through there. So Winston's coming back, Xavier Tillman's coming back, Josh Langford's back, Aaron Henry, Kyle Athens. A lot of their core players from that Final Four team is all back. And when I was reading to the reviews about Michigan State, listen, they have all the pieces to put it together. They have size, they have shooting, they have excellent point guard play with Cassius Winston, who does a great job of controlling the pace of the game. But if you're really looking at the major concerns about what Michigan State is, the big concern is that they have a very thin front line. And because of that thin front line, they tend to get into very much in foul trouble. So if that's going to be the case, I think Xavier Tillman is going to have to, fulfill the spot as center and fill on a full-time basis now that, senior Nick Ward is no longer with the team. But he's got other bigs that are basically young. And will their freshman, Marcus Bingham, be ready to play a huger role than what he was accustomed to? Well, that's yet to be seen. Okay. Now, the number 2 team is Kentucky. Okay. And we all know how loaded the Kentucky Wildcats are. Okay. They got the majority of their starters back. Okay. And they got new freshmen coming in, especially this kid named Ashton Hagens. He returns for his sophomore season where he's going to be joined by another guard named Tyrese Maxley and would be the most toughest and must basically they're very sound defensively in the backcourt. Okay. Now, if there's going to be a major question for them, it's going to be their front line because EJ Montgomery is going to have to fulfill the role that PJ Washington was a year ago and live up to his 5-star potential. Okay, so they have the pieces to get there, and they have the depth, but But John Calipari's got to find a way to put it together and have them win consistently and have better outings in the NCAA tournament there too, especially the last few seasons. And number 3, Kansas. Okay, now depending how the NCAA investigation into Kansas, will hang over on the Jayhawks' heads. Okay, but despite all the off the court issues that they're going through, they had probably the best center in the country, which is Udoka Azubuike. Okay, because he's very good at scoring in the post, and he has good counter moves and good basic fundamental moves. And they also got one of the best point guards in the country, and a kid named Devon Dotson. Okay, and they had another good breakout star in Ochaya Igabi. Okay, so they have very good depth in the front court and very good matchups on the backcourt side. So one of the big questions that's going to be for the Jayhawks is that can Dietrich Lawson be the perfect guy to fulfill that slow there? But since he's gone, they're going to have to really, do a better job of spacing the floor and for open shooters and for guards to penetrate there too. Okay, so it's not going to be easy for the Kansas Jayhawks, but we'll see what's going to happen there too. But I don't know what's the future going to be for the Jayhawks. Depending on this and depending on the NCAA investigation that they're going through. At number 4, Louisville. Okay, and then at number 5, you got the Villanova Wildcats, the 2-time national champions. Okay, and then we go to number 6, and that is the Duke Blue Devils. Now, obviously, you guys know that Zion's gone, RJ's gone, Reddish is gone, and Marquise Bolden is gone. Even though they still got some of their same, core players from a year ago, they got a lot of new freshmen coming in, especially one from Minnesota named Matthew Hurt. Okay, so there's a lot of different pieces around the floor there too. But this is a kind of a weird blend of this team because the problem for Duke is that they don't have very many lineups that can play sound defense there, and we have the ability to create space for Vernon Carey to operate in the basket. So this is where Trey Jones, who is the brother of Tyus Jones, is going to have to play a much more of a bigger role this year than what he did last year. And that is hit open jump shots and do his job of spacing the floor and basically commanding the point guard position. Okay. And if he could do that, and if he can elevate his game to another level, I think Duke, of all of their, selections and all their unusual matchups, could possibly make a run for the championship. But we'll see what happens. So I'm not going to get into too much in terms of the top 25. I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on it there too about what I think about it. But I think this is really going to be another interesting year of college basketball. And also salute to California for finally passing the law about, allowing the college athletes to make money off their opponent's likeness. And now it's basically pressured the NCAA to basically make their rules and allow athletes to make money off of their likeness. You understand what I'm saying? So, truthfully though, bro, the NCAA is going to get messed up big time because they're going to have to start opening up the wallets and basically start paying these athletes what they deserve. You understand? So, I think that one of the big surprises that could be this year for me, and as you look at the other list though too, I think Michigan could make some noise, for I think Michigan could be one of those teams that can probably make some splash into the top 25. Because I think, even though that Juwan Howard is his first time being a basketball coach, I think people are discrediting what Juwan Howard could do for a team. Okay, now we'll have to see what he's able to recruit to make it possible. But I tend to believe that I think the Michigan Wolverines is really going to be one of those teams that's going to really challenge the Michigan State Spartans. And I wouldn't be surprised if they, pull out some major wins during this season too, especially how, very weird the Big Ten Conference can be. So, it is what it is though, bro. But I think that this is really going to be another interesting year of college basketball, to say the least. And we're going to see who's going to come out and who's going to be one of the big surprises this year, guys. I'm really excited, though, y'all. Real talk, real talk. So I just got a little message for Stay Ready Boxing TV. You better show up on time Sunday night when we discuss about your Houston Rockets, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm getting really disgusted with James Harden and his nonstop flopping. It's just literally been driving me crazy. I've never seen a superstar that flops as much than James Harden. You understand what I'm saying? And it just gets really repetitive over time. And I'm really getting tired of it. You know what I mean? And let me get some water real quick. Okay. There was something on the radio this morning that really, made me think about a bit. Now, Tobias Harris basically came out on the record and basically said, listen, even though I think in a few years, sleep deprivation is going to be a major issue in the NBA, then just like the NFL is when it comes to concussions. Now, you ask yourself, why is he referring to sleep deprivation? And I'm going to tell you why. The reason is that, NBA players travel nonstop, okay? They have to play back-to-back games. You don't get much time, to rest your head, get some sleep, okay? Now, if I were, owning a franchise, I would basically tell the team, listen, get a couple of hours in to try to get your sleep, and, we'll just get to the charter flight. right around 10-ish or 11-ish or something like that, because listen, not many players, listen, the NBA season is 82 games. You start the season in uh in the final week of October and it goes through June. Why not start the season in Kentucky? You know how the NFL, starts the season, a week before 9/11, but also they had Thanksgiving there too. Why not start the season in Christmas and then end the season in August? Okay? Because that would be very perfect because not many fans are going to look into baseball when the baseball season starts. They'll catch up with it towards August, okay? But the whole notion of starting the season in the in the latter stages of October just has never really made sense to me. And the other thing too is that playing back to back games, I will admit, does wear you down in the long run because you're having to play heavy minutes depending on the situation every single night. And a lot of these players, they don't have an opportunity to really recuperate, to refresh themselves, to get some sleep in, to try to, you know, refresh their heads so they can get out there and play at their absolute best. And I think something like that is gonna be have to be addressed down the line. You know what I mean? Because always sleeping 2 or 3 hours a day, and then you expect to get out there and play, without any sleep whatsoever. It's just I feel like something could be done to make the game even better, you know, and I think that in the long run, it's just something that the NBA should probably just start a discussion about and try to make things better for the players. So let's go ahead and check out the chat real quick. TJ Wilkins says, "I got me a bottle after a hard week of work, and I'm chilling on the net tonight." Appreciate you, TJ Wilkins. It's just Boxing says to TJ Wilkins, thanks for the sub. It's just Boxing gives it a thumbs up. It's just Boxing says Kentucky is my pick to win it all this year. Okay, okay, okay. I got either Duke or Michigan State winning it all because Michigan State has the pieces to win the national championship, but it's about putting it together and how will their front line hold up as the season moves on. Because remember, they are thin on the front line, okay? And Duke, they have very weird blend of basically guard play and interchangeable players. But if they can start playing together at an efficient level, then it could make it. It could be very, very interesting what the Duke Blue Devils can do. See, I think Duke to me is kind of like the wild card in this thing because against elite teams, they could throw very different kind of matchups to try to throw you off balance. Okay, even though they're still talented, though, bro, there's still a lot more unanswered questions about the team. How will the new freshmen, fulfill the same roles that the other guys did last year? Will Trey Jones step his game up to another level? Okay, how will they adjust to the hard sketch part of the schedule in the ACC conference? Because you're going to go against Virginia, you're going to go against North Carolina, you're going to go against Syracuse. Okay, you're going to go against Louisville, that's also in the top 25. I mean, it's not going to get easy, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. So let's go ahead and check out the chat. TJ Wilkins says the Rockets need a new coach, period. I agree. I think that you could hire Tom Thibodeau. You could hire Mark Jackson. I mean, any of those two guys would be perfect for the Rockets because they need a defensive minded coach that's going to put the responsibility of stopping people to try to, you know, make a difference, to try to make a difference, to try to make a championship run. Because if they can't stop anybody, listen, defense wins championships. If you don't play no defense, you're not winning championships. Sorry. That just is what it is. It's just Boxing says Kansas is my wild card team. Yeah, Kansas is a very, I'll tell you what, though, that in NCAA investigation, of the whole money laundering scheme is really going to be on their heads. But if they can put that distraction aside and focus on winning games, then you know what? Kansas could make something happen. Remember, Kansas is one of those teams that you kind of watch them under the radar, but they always dominate when the spotlight's on. It's when their favorite is when they're favored, then the pressure gets a little bit tighter for them. But when it's not, they're not the favorites, and when they just go out there and play, okay, then anything can happen for Bill Self, okay, and his Jancis Jayhawks. So we'll see what happens, though, guys. We'll see what happens when the season is really starting to take shape, okay. You know, so tomorrow, my alma mater, Minnesota Golden Gophers football team is facing their biggest test of the season. They're going to go against Penn State, who is basically one of the best teams in the Big Ten. Okay, and at this point, I hope my Gophers, perform well and try to find a way to win. You understand what I'm saying? So it should be a lot of fun. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night. I'm really getting tired though, guys. I'm gonna try to get some sleep because I got a lot of big stuff there going on tomorrow on my channel. We got the boxing talk program at 3 p.m. Central Time, but also, guys, at 6 p.m. Central Time, I will have Renee Box Young as my special guest, and we're gonna go into the issue of Canelo Alvarez. All right, guys. So stay tuned for that right here on this channel. Be sure to smash the like button on the way out. For all you guys with the wrenches, though, bro, make sure to share this live stream on your social media platforms, and let's spread the word about MehariNation Sports Podcast, because I'm slowly stepping up my video content and live streams, though, bro, to make sure you guys are never out of the loop of when I go live. So the time is now to make things happen, and I need all of you guys' support to really spread the word, to try to get people to subscribe to my channel. You know what I mean? So everybody does their part, and I will help do my part to make sure that your channels are successful too. So I want to thank all the members of the chat for the great opinions and perspectives, though, bro. Make sure to smash the like button on the way out. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some sleep for now, but I want to thank you guys for really making this channel possible. And Basketball Conversations is my personal pet project that is gonna only keep getting better. So this has been Abil Mehari, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast. I want to thank all the members of the LDVC for their continuous support, and let's keep pushing on for greatness. As Junior would say, there's nothing else. At the end of the day, you got to get out there, keep pushing, baby. All right. So make sure to smash like button on the way out, and y'all have a good night, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow.